Hi everybody, so there's been an update to DayZ to 1.25 in the experimental servers anyway. It's the 26th of April 2024 when I'm recording this video, and we expect 1.25 to go live probably next month, probably around about the 20th of May, something like that, depending. However, how do you get hold of the mission files now? The 1.25 types.xml, events.xml, and all that sort of stuff. Well, there's actually two ways to get hold of them at the moment, which is quite exciting. One way, which is the free way, where especially if you're on console and you don't own a copy of DayZ on Steam, the way that you can get them. But I don't know how long this is going to last, because it's a bit unusual that they've done it. So in the description below this video, you'll find a link to DayZ's official GitHub. So their official depository where they have all of the mission files for DayZ, so that you can download them and you can use them, adjust them, get them ready for your server when you want to go ready for 1.25. And to get all of these files, all you do is you just click on the code, click on download zip, and that will download a zip file to your local PC. Then all you need to do is then extract that to your local drive, and then you'll end up with all the files. Now, normally though, you see, this doesn't update to experimental until normally a couple of days after experimental turns into public. But for some reason, for 1.25, they have updated this. Now, I have raised a ticket on the tracker site, on their feedback site, saying, look, it's a bit odd that you've updated this to 1.25 already. I mean, it's great that you've done it, fantastic. However, you might want to, have some sort of tag on here that says this is 1.25 experimental. Generally, you see the experimental files could well change over the period of the experimental testing, if you like. It could be for something like the new VS98 or SV89 rifle that they want to put more in or less in, or change the location or something like that. But normally it would say. So for now, if you want the 1.25 files, you can download them from here. Now, if you're watching this video after May, when 1.25 is live on public servers as well, then this will definitely be the 1.25 files. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to check anyway. So once you've downloaded the files and extracted them, you want to go into dayzoffline.churners+. And the easiest one to check is CFG spawnable types, actually. And if you edit that with Notepad++ or Notepad, just do a search, and you want to search for SV98. That's the new rifle that's coming with 1.25. So if that's in the file, it's the updated file. So if that's not there, then it's not 1.25. They've reverted it to 1.24 by the time you've watched this video. So apologies for that. If they have, then the way that you get the experimental 1.25 files before they go public and they're available on the GitHub depository or repository, or suppository, depending on how you look at, is you have to own a copy of DayZ on Steam. And if you own a copy of DayZ on Steam, in your library, if you have tools selected and then you go to DayZ, you have the DayZ experimental server, and you install the experimental server. You don't run it, you just install it. And then what will happen then is on your computer, in the same folder where DayZ is, which will probably be C, Program Files, x86, Steam, Steam Apps Common, you'll have DayZ Server Experimental. And when you go into DayZ Server Experimental, you then have the mission files, and there you have the 1.25 version, experimental anyway, of Chernarus and Enoch, which is Livonia. And you can go in there and say, if we were to check here, so CFG spawnable types, do a Control F, do a search for SV98. There it is, and we can see it's all there, ready to go, and we know we've got the latest files. So again, the idea of all this is, in case you're watching the video thinking, well, why would you want to do this? You want access to the newer files while they're in the experimental phase, before they go public, so it gives you a chance, if you have modded mission files, to merge those files together, to compare them and merge them so that when we go public, you can have your files ready to go. Or obviously, if you're like a PC modder, you can check for compatibility as well with mods and stuff like that. On console, we're not that bothered about compatibility because we don't have sort of server and client-side mods. We just have server-side mods, which are based around the XML and JSON files. But anyway, it kind of allows you to get ready in advance of the public release. Okay, so hopefully that's useful. So keep an eye on the official GitHub repository. Again, this may well revert to 1.24. If it does, sorry about that, and then you'll have to basically make sure you own a copy of DayZ on Steam. And if you own a copy on DayZ on Steam, go into your library, go into Tools, install the experimental server. You don't need to run it, just install it, and that will download the files. And then you can go into the missions, and then you will find the 1.25 experimental files, which you can then work on to your heart's content. Okay, so hopefully that's been useful. If it has, hit like if you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course, I'll see you again soon.